Welcome back to Fire Emblem Engage. Our final chapter in the Fell Xenologue will take place in the ruins where the Somniel once stood. Fallen Somniel. Having lost Nil and the Bracelets, the Divine Dragon journeys to a once floating island to find Nil. Everything none! Apparently this is considered Granlon, though. Oh, I just realized the music here is the same as the main map theme. And we'll be hearing the motif again in the final map theme. 7 bracelets.
Do you wish to remain innocent, holding fast to the teachings you follow? Or will you seize victory, your hands stained with the blood of old friends? The most unbearable pain is now a fond memory, a desperate dream. But I know the truth. In this world, there is no eternity. Now is the time to awaken.
I am reminded of when we were young. You always slept deeper and later than me. I would anxiously wait for you to awaken. Outside, the world was full of foes. I could do nothing on my own. I could not transform, no matter how I wished for it. I was a powerless whelp, a failure. I was convinced I would not survive long.
You had so little hope.
You are awake. I would advise you not to consider transforming and fleeing. You will lose any part of you that moves from that spot.
Please stop this, Nil. There is no reason to pursue power here. You cannot rule an empty world. You and I are all that remain.
Power is purpose. This world means nothing to me. If it must be destroyed to achieve my ends, then so be it.
Exactly how Sombron treated our world.
But you would not understand that. You know nothing of weakness, of humiliation.
That is all in the past. Your friends love you. Think of our time at Lethos Castle. All of us together, as a family.
Thinking of that age of lies fills me with nothing but resentment.
You cannot mean that.
It is amusing to hear you say we were a family. The irony is so delicious, I simply must share. I am not your twin brother. I took the place of young Nil when he and I were children. Your precious twin, the one you so yearned to protect that you fled our father and risked all. He has been dead for quite some time. Do you see it now? You are alone. Your beloved Divine Dragon, the Four Winds, your real twin brother, all gone. Isn't it wonderful? At last, we will face each other as true peers. And when that struggle finally ends, you can put an end to me.
What?
I have always been a miserable and lonely child. I cannot even recall the face of my own twin. I knew you would never forgive my deception. But for a time, I cherished being your Nil. You were so gentle and giving with me. So kind. I began to think of you as my one true sister. Even now, the memory of our time at Lethos Castle is priceless to me. But that treasure is a stolen one. And this pain is unbearable. So please, please put an end to my misery.
What is this, Nil? Tell me what is happening.
No. No! Put an end to my misery? Pathetic, laughable. Father laid his hand upon my chest. He named me his true heir. I cannot stop until his ambitions are fulfilled. Surely that is what he intended me to achieve. No, he would not call me his heir otherwise. Perhaps it was a trick, or simple pity. I do not know. Curse this pain, it never ends!
Nil, stay with me.
I will prove my worth. I will avenge Father, carry out his will, and become heir to the Fell Dragon legacy!
So the Somniel of this world has fallen. I guess I'm not surprised.
Divine One, you came.
I'm only here for Nell. Please, let her go.
Dispel the ward on the final bracelet and I will consider it.
The ward? What are you talking about?
This is the bracelet of the three houses. A ward has been placed upon it, so that none may access its power.
I'm sorry, I had to cut in here. Even in this universe, nobody wanted the Discourse to be unleashed.
The emblems within cannot be roused, nor can the bracelet be moved from this location.
Which explains why none of the enemies we fought had it.
So the Somniel fell from the sky, but it didn't knock the bracelet loose. Must be frustrating.
I love sassy Aaliyah.
Quite. The Divine Dragon told me about the ward just prior to the final battle against Father. It can only be broken by the one who placed it, and that fool is now dead. Which is why I could not become Father's true heir, not even with all 7 bracelets. It was your arrival that rekindled my hope. I have long anticipated this moment.
Because I can remove the ward.
You can, and you will, or I will slay Nell.
Do not do this, Divine One.
I have to. For you, Nell. It's done. Satisfied?
The last of the bracelets is finally in my hands. Awaken, emblems! Grant me my desire! At last, Father, I have finally succeeded!
I've done what you asked. Now release Nell.
Why would I do that, now that I have what I want?
You really should have seen that coming.
Monster!
Farewell, wretched sister.
No!
That's quite enough!
So yeah, if you're connected to the internet, you can see Gregory, Madeline, and Celestia in the rankings here, which confirms that they didn't die.
What is this?
Celestia, Gregory, Madeline.
Are you injured, Lady Nell?
My winds. Words cannot express my relief. I am glad to see you well.
Wait, where's Mavier?
Divine One, Lady Nell. I'm so sorry. Mavier is...
What happened?
And now, flashback.
The pillars have been destroyed. Now the temple will collapse. Goodbye, my dear family.
Mavier, did you... Is that a warp staff?
Somebody's actually using the warp staff for, like, story purposes. I don't know if it's ever been done in the series before. It's pretty cool.
Where's Celestia? Did you send her outside?
This was always my intention. Why should all of us die when only one of us need remain here?
You idiot! You can't warp yourself out with that! Give it over. If anyone's staying behind, it's me.
Gregory, you are Celestia's new second-in-command. Serve her well.
Why didn't you tell us, Mavier?
Madeline, I wish you the greatest happiness. I see now that protecting you was my...
Stop that! Stop saying goodbye! I thought we'd go together. I would not have to say this. Mavier, I love...
There. It is done. I am sorry I had to deceive you all. You were my family. And I am grateful for every day we spent together. But that time is over. Now you must carry on without me. Lady Vale, I will be with you soon.
No. Mavier.
I can't believe it.
Moral of this story, always bring a rewarp staff.
A selfless, heroic sacrifice. He was a true knight until the end.
To think I stilled only one of you awful winds. How are you alive? No matter. You are all detestable in the eyes of Lord Sombron. And you will perish here!
No, Nil. We won't let you follow in Sombron's footsteps. We'll stop you from becoming his heir. Whatever it takes. Wins! Now!
Yes. You may have killed one of us, but we are still a mighty tempest.
I won't back down. Mavier would tell me to be brave as the new second in command.
When my liege walks down the wrong path, it's my duty to stop them. I'll do what I must.
I cannot bear to lose any of you. Not one more person. Let this be our final battle, brother.
So now it is time for, as she says, the final battle of the Fell Xenologue against Nil the Fell Heir. The one who, in this case, I left this for the true finale of the playthrough for a reason. Because now he's having to avenge the Sombron of his world and our world Sombron. Well, another world Sombron that went to our world, but still.
Please, you have to stop him. You can have all that remains of my power.
This is so much.
Thank you. I will not fail.
Allies who are defeated in the Fell Xenologue will return after the battle is over. Don't worry about losing anyone, go all out for victory. When the game explicitly tells you this, yeah, that should tell you something. So, firstly, that liberation we just got, it grants attack plus 15 against Fell Nil, plus 30 if you're playing normal mode. In fact, on normal mode, this map is significantly different. For one, a lot of the enemies actually carry S-rank weapons that are dropped, but only on normal mode. And secondly, Fell Nil's gimmick is a little different, but as you can see here, Fell Nil has some pretty good stats. Bondbreaker plus, Veteran plus, yeah, but he doesn't take damage from effectiveness, so I don't think, like, Engage plus and Aaliyah will really work on him. And he has most of Sombron's attacks, but he also has Devastation. Yeah, this is a scripted attack he uses, I'll talk about that more later. Drain Essence, yeah, I'll talk about that later as well. Summon Vortex creates vortexes that summon reinforcements, and Fell Beam works pretty much like Sombron's version. Also his description. Yeah, it's a slightly different one, so you might notice he only has 2 health bars, but here's the thing. While he is on top of one of the... See, okay, skill effects. See how there's this thing that says skill effect in the top corner? Sigil Protection. Reduces damage taken and foes critical hit chance by 50. Yeah, while he's on a Fell Sigil, you basically can't hurt him. What he's going to do is he's going to teleport to every one of the Fell Sigils on the map in turn, but he visits less of them on normal mode. Once he's here, this last Fell Sigil does not reduce the damage that he takes. But I'll explain more about how the gimmick, how his warping gimmick works a little later on, because we also have all of the corrupted royals to deal with again. So Fogado is back, and he's got Tiki. And you want to kill the corrupted royals, but you especially want to kill Fogado, because if you let him, he will actually give a revival stone to Felnil. Apparently that's possible. I've never had him do that, but that's because I kill him quickly. Also, Alcryst has Crom now, which means he gets the covert bonuses for Crom, which is kind of interesting. Timerra still has Camilla, and she's actually probably one of the scariest ones in this map, because her offensive stats are pretty high, and she can also fly, and she has Camilla's axe now. The second scariest is probably Diamant, because he can summon, and he also has Veronica's Bond 15 weapon as well. He now has Reprisal Plus, which is really scary. Fortunately, his dexterity is still only at a cap of 22, just like our Diamant. And then we also have Alfred, who's back with Hector. His defense is actually kind of lower than I expect from Alfred, as well as Saline using the Bracelet of the Three Houses. And the most annoying aspect about this is, you have to sit through friendly rivalry at the start of every single turn. Finally, we have Ivy, who has Soren, but she also has Excalibur, which is kind of scary. She also has all of Soren's other skills. And Hortensia only has 1 health bar, and no emblem. So sadly, she's kind of pretty easy to take down. I say sadly because her dialogue is incredibly tragic. But do not Astra Storm her early. Trust me, I learned that the hard way. It aggroes like everything around her. 8 additional units, along with the 4 Winds and Nell. Which means I probably need to leave Jean out of this one. And Alear, you take Lucina back.
Violet, together.
I don't like putting Byleth on someone so squishy, though, because I could very easily lose Gregory on this map. And I think instead of using 3 houses on Lapis, I'll keep her with Roy, and this is actually kind of fitting. You can now unleash the power of the Sealed Bracelet.
Edelgard.
Indeed.
I'm going to keep Cantor. You kind of want Cantor on as many people as possible here. Let's just say that mobility is very important. And while I will be using Lucina with Alear, I've actually gone ahead and off-camera trained him up with the 3 Houses bracelet to get weapon sync for that +5 attack on swords all the time. I think this is going to be a little bit more useful than having that emblem on Alear, because he'd have less speed that way, and I don't think that would mean he'd be able to double nil. And this way I get the +5 attack with swords all the time, rather than just while engaged. But speaking of engaged, let's go.
This terrain is unstable. We should hurry toward that island to the northwest.
So he's about to use an area attack here, but just to show this off, even with Liberation, you basically have no hope of really damaging Felnil at this point. So I am going to be booking it towards the next island, and I don't think that's how the game expects you to handle this map, but it will be how I handle the map regardless, because, yeah, let's just say that this is going to be kind of rough. Okay, so finally, I will have you take 11 Sword. And let's go with Excalibur as well, since there's only 2 Bolganones they give you here, and one of them I gave to Clan, since I believe he needs it in order to one-round these generals. He's a little short with just Excalibur. Now, eventually in this map, I'm probably going to be turning off battle animations. Just because this is a very, very, very long battle. Like, insanely long battle. In fact, I don't blame you if, on any difficulty below Maddening, you actually make saves and do this map in multiple, in multiple chunks. Just, I honestly think that's probably how you should handle this map.
Instructions?
Right then, so we've got some, some Bow Knights up there that are a little strong. So I might need to break out some healing even this early, because Legendary Greg is going to be taking a little bit of damage here.
I'll help.
So I would very much like to try and take down one of those Bow Knights if I can.
I know it's too late, but sorry.
Huh, actually that's kind of an interesting line. Also, you might notice that some of the enemies drop rescue starbs. There is a reason for this, and we shall find out that reason quite soon. Now, I put Xenologue down here because, yeah, he'll be able to fly across while engaged, and, fortunately, that Bow Knight is in terrain, which could be a problem, because Amber's accuracy is, I mean, it's okay in the main game, but that was due to forging. Probably not the best here. Because can I... 68% is not really the best. I think I may have to actually attempt to block off the Bow Knights with my defensive characters. And your terrible hit rate. Because I think that prevents... yeah, also, wow, look at all those enemy ranges. Okay, a bit of a gamble here, but we can try. Okay, one down.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
Definitely the stuff, Amber. Now, you will be getting a lot, and I mean a lot, of Emblem energy over the course of this map, and there are going to be a lot of reinforcements to deal with, so I might want to spend my Astral Storm really, really early just to take out one of these enemies that are pursuing. Although it's entirely possible you might not even reach me in time. Okay, gonna save my Astral Storm, since it's possible that some of these incoming Wyverns are going to actually be, you'll see. They might end up getting taken out by a map gimmick. Fortify to get my sages back in the fight. Or at least less at risk of dying.
You have my attention.
Okay, here we go. First enemy phase of many, first friendly rivalry of many. Also, no need to show that animation, he's just attacking empty ground. This is also a part of the reason why I'd like to turn animations off eventually. Now, we do have a Mage Cannoneer over there that I probably will want to get rid of. And obviously, I want to get rid of you guys, but you're not in terrain, so Amber should be able to take you out fairly easily. Yeah, and we've got incoming Wyverns, and that whole that whole actual Wyvern up there is not really going to be moving in just yet.
Enemy reinforcements will be coming from that vortex. Let us disrupt it, and all others like it.
So, when I said that they don't really expect you to hightail it to the next island, they basically expect you to stay here and put one of your units on top of every single vortex to plug the reinforcements. The thing about this is, if you play the map this way, it takes an insanely long time, like even longer than it already does, and I just kind of want to, I will say make this as short as I can, but like, seriously, you're about to see, like, this map is absurdly long, even if you do it, even if you ignore those reinforcement triggers. And the thing with the reinforcement triggers is, let's just say that, okay, that's cool, I can actually finish you. But let's just say that those reinforcements that come out of those swirly vortexes might not stick around for long. Basically, the reason the game wants you to stop them is not because they're like an active threat to you, but more because they interact in a certain way with like another gimmick on this map, but we'll get to that later.
Emblem, engage!
And I probably want to liberally spread around my revival blessings with Tiki, and now that's a Pokemon term, keep thinking of the Pokemon term, but just so that I get as many of them as I can over the course of this full map. Unfortunately, Amber's a little too slow to one-round that Mage Cannoneer, so I think I'm going to have to instead go Dance. In fact, this might result in a Tiki versus Tiki fight, which would be cool. Of course, if I lose my own Tiki to Corrupted Fogado too soon... okay, well, I mean, I suppose Amber can finish you.
Bye-bye now.
Okay, or you could crit.
I'm not alone anymore.
Another rescue staff. Should that go to the it is good to have immediate access to those rescue staffs, let's just say. Because you might find yourself in a situation where you desperately need them in order for people to live. I guess I can fortify and heal 2 people with this. Of course, the reinforcement vortexes that are really close, I may as well plug those if I have nothing better to do with my people up here, because they actually do stand a little bit of a chance of actually reaching me. Probably need Amber on call soon. Okay, went for Ivy, not Aaliyah, which is fine, except I didn't kill you, which is a little unfortunate. And now he summons the reinforcements, so the ones that I plugged are fine, but these other ones, there's generally a theme for each set of reinforcements. This one is all general, so yeah, they'll be a little slow in getting, but the reinforcements for the next batch of reinforcements, they're going to be all wolves. Which is definitely something that I want to be careful of, because they can easily outrun the map gimmick too. Now, if I engage here... Oh, I can actually ride as Bane you, although I might not hit. I can try, though.
I'm not scared. I've died twice now. What's one more time?
Aaliyah can definitely relate to that sentiment.
There is nothing to fear.
Thank you for not dodging that. That could have been pretty bad if you did dodge. And of course, you can hit and immediately duck out. And now, yeah, part of me wants to do this just to basically guarantee that I hit you for the most part. Because definitely want the alternate royals to die. They are the main enemies that you need to concern yourself with taking out here. Yeah, how about we get Seedol in here to finish with Yunaka, because she should be relatively guaranteed to finish him off now. And you're going to give a revival blessing to somebody. Yeah, there we go. Guaranteed kill with the Silver Dagger. Let's do this.
Now that was fun. I've got a feeling this one will stick.
And it will. That's the last we'll ever see of corrupted Fogado. So that's one royal taken care of. Now, I would say Aaliyah might need a revival stone, but actually, I want to give one to Gregory, just because he's my Byleth user, and I really, really, really do not want to lose my Byleth user, for obvious reasons. I'm probably going to need Byleth later on.
I love you all.
Thank you.
I haven't even mentioned it yet, but if you haven't already, use Divine Blessing with Merrin. It's amazing. That Wyvern is quite annoying. There will be reinforcements that don't even come out of the reinforcements tiles either. So I think I'll just go for a zappy on one of them right now. So yeah, you'll have to be dealing with a lot of enemies here, even if you plug some of the reinforcement vortexes. Oh, I have you, not Crom.
Emblem.
I was thinking if I had Crom, I could one-round the generals with Nell, but instead I decided to Oh yeah, and Fallen Star is actually the only way you can use Failnaught if you're at bond level 1. Which, to be honest, might actually not be a terrible idea in this circumstance.
Now you know your limits.
Well, obviously I want to get rid of that short knife. That's not going to avail me very much. I do have Healing Light, admittedly. I think that does save me against you. I only need, like, 1 more HP than I currently have. Yeah, in fact, I hope this saves me.
Feeling better.
But yeah, that 1 extra HP I think is all Ivy needs. And I actually cannot equip the 11 sword because then I get broken. You know, I feel like I should probably summon soon too. Yeah, let's go. Again, a mage could be useful here, but once again, I just really want to see if I end up getting Edelgard at some point. And we get... Oh, okay, Ike. I will definitely take your help, Visladian. Yeah, probably want to be sending Ike a little further into the map, I guess. But he doesn't have any range weapons, so that's something to keep in mind. So he does not have Lagoo's Friend, he just has Resolve, Wrath, and Demolish. I guess it would be a little overpowered if he had Lagoo's Friend all the time. 33 defense, and the only enemies that can attack me are physically inclined. If I engage, though, I think I should be taking 0 thanks to that 30% defense boost. In fact, it's 50% thanks to my class bonus. When a Fel Sigil begins to glow, that means Fel-Nil intends to move there after destroying the area he's currently standing in. This is the map gimmick I was talking about. The blast will occur on the next enemy phase. All units caught there in the area, friend or foe, will die instantly. The more units Fel-Nil defeats in this way, the more his power will grow. So what they kind of intend is for you to clear out all the enemies in an area, block all the reinforcements, and then and only then move on to the next area. But if any of your units are caught in the area when Fel-Nil explodes it, they all die, and he gets stronger for everybody he kills. I personally find it's best just to keep running. He will end up absorbing a few chump reinforcements, but the main thing you just want to make sure is that he doesn't end up absorbing any royals. Because if he kills, with Devastation, a corrupted royal, he gets their class skill. Or in the case of corrupted Fogado, I believe he gets his personal skill, from what I've heard. I've never seen him actually kill corrupted Fogado. But yeah, see, if I stuck around here and tried to block all the vortexes, there would be no way that my units who were here would be able to escape this devastation without rescue staves. That's why they give you rescue staves, by the way. Also, one quick thing to note is that you can actually advance up here if you want, but this is not the path that Fel-Nil will be following, and if you go up here, like into this quadrant, on hard or maddening, you will trigger a bunch of waves of reinforcements, because the game doesn't really want you to go there too early. So yeah, I'm going to be avoiding that right now. So we do have to be a little cautious because Fel Alcryst is up here. Thankfully, he doesn't really have a whole lot of avoid terrain to hide in, like the earlier Brodia map. But if he does end up in any of the forests, he will be able to attack you without fear of reprisal, so watch out for that. But yeah, just make sure it doesn't go in here, and you should generally be fine. Yeah, I do like the reprise of the Fel Xenologue theme here. And as always, Alacrity can be pretty useful.
I can't believe
Alcryst is kind of weak in the earlier Fel Xenologue chapters, but he's definitely starting to prove his worth here. Oh yeah, also watch out the Gig 11 sword. That can hurt quite a lot.
You're no match for me.
The generals here mostly exist to be like, well, to use the Yu-Gi-Oh! Term, gate guardians, to basically make it harder for you to go in that area. Fel Alcryst has a 11 sword. Right. Does that kill me? His magic attack is only 24 with the 11 sword. Oh! Okay. That's kind of a cool use of Falling Star. Or not! So I'm going to move you there just to block off Alcryst, hopefully. Although, actually, if I contract... See, Alcryst won't be able to move, but he can still engage and use Astrostorm.
I'm sorry.
And this is why I was saving the Astrostorm, because, just in case one of these Wyverns got into a point where it actually was a threat to me, because it's definitely gonna... Oh, I can do a lot of damage to Fel Alcryst, but no, let's just, let's eliminate one of them. And I think I'll get rid of the Axe one, because that breaks Nell if it hits her. Whereas the Lance one will not.
By my hand! I need to get stronger until no one can beat me.
Heal you up and heal myself up at the same time. Thank you, Healing Light. Oh, wait, no, there's a sage there. I was thinking that I could go in there with a dance and tank, but, not really the best idea because of that sage. Oh, also, wait, that Wyvern Lord's getting eaten anyway. Didn't need to worry about it at all. But yeah, now that entire area is impassable, and Felnil has moved. Goodbye, part of the Somnial. Yeah, eventually there'll be almost no ground left to stand on, literally.
That was unsettling. Had I been standing there, I would have certainly perished.
Oh yeah, and if Nell or Alear is in that area, you instantly lose.
Nil seems to be drawing power from those he kills in this way. It may be worth the risk to reduce the number of foes on an island before it falls.
So yeah, they say this, but I don't really like to try and do it.
Am I dead? Me? The brilliant future king? That's not possible. And yet... how are you here?
You didn't even meet Madeline, what are you talking about? Oh, Luna's a thing. And yeah, it will halve resistance when attacking with a magic weapon. But yeah, Felnil is there. He is going to be using his, yeah, there we go, his reinforcement sigil. And so this one, like I said, this one summons a bunch of wolves, and they will usually outrun his next use of devastation and still be a threat to you. So it might be worthwhile to plug some of these. I'm going to see how far not plugging it gets me, but we'll find out if that goes horribly, horribly wrong or not. Now, like I've said before, usually when Yunaka ranges very far ahead of the rest of the army, she tends not to live, but I don't like that mage, and I very much want it to die. Well, maybe I'll do that later, because I do need to make sure that, Fel Alcryst goes down, and who better to do the job than, his alternate future wife, once more. Who doesn't actually double him.
This will be easy.
Will it now? Will it? Well, I suppose this couldn't miss, but you do no damage to me anyway. Crap. Okay, well, if Nell moves out of the way, I have a pretty much guaranteed shot at this if I just go this, dance, this again, unless I miss either of these. Yeah, not even special... I don't think any of the royals have special boss dialogue on this map, which kind of makes sense. You've already got enough of it out of them before. Now, with that A support with Cedal, I should have a... Yeah, I have a perfect equilibrate this time, so goodbye, other me. Finally, Alcryst gets to face his alternate self.
This can't be. I cannot disgrace myself any further now. I'm sorry I wasn't a good brother to you. Tiamat.
Whether he's finally showing some remorse, or whether it's a bit of the real Alcryst breaking through from the his, well, literal corruption there, who can say? What I can say, though, is I don't want Ike to get hit by that sage. Is there a way that I can canter out of range of that corrupted wyvern? Oh, I didn't need to worry at all. I one-shotted. Should have paid more attention to the enemy's HP there. And, okay. I guess you can get rid of one of your physics. I put the extra physic there just in case I need it. Yeah, there's a Miasma Dragon up there. Thankfully, this one doesn't have the Miasma Domain skill. Here's a bit of a weird maneuver, though. If I take your Rescue Staff... Now, you generally want to save the uses of these to save people from devastation, but if I warp you closer... I did not want you to end up the top. Well, actually, no, you are still within range of the general. And I can at least attempt to get a no-counter kill here. Okay, with you done, that clears the path a bit.
Excellent.
Alear's lagging behind here, but really, he only needs to be around for, the actual final real, fight with Neil at the end, where he's basically, like, actually damageable. Okay, thank you for the dodge there, although the Miasma Ball wouldn't have frozen you because of Sigurd. And yeah, those reinforcements there, the flying, like, Wyvern reinforcements that often come in from the sides of the map, they could be a huge annoyance, and speaking of huge annoyance, yep, it's a whole pack of wolves. Although the whole pack of wolves thing just makes me think of, like, the, So a lot of people have argued the respective merits of this game versus, who is attacking me from there? Is that... Oh, it's the other Wyvern, I think. Of this versus the Scented Shadows DLC. And I do feel like they kind of serve different purposes to an extent, but like, the thing that I personally like about this one more than Scented Shadows is that, like, I was really soured on the fact that Scented Shadows, after all of that, was not canon, when it could very easily slot into the canon timeline of Three Houses. I don't think there was any reason why they had to make it non-canon. It's just, it always baffled me, that decision. And it kind of retroactively made everything you went through there feel a little pointless. Whereas with this, it's funny. It's like, it seems like the most non-canon you can possibly get with the fact that it's all, an alternate universe story. But at the same time, like, you'll see, it actually does matter to, like, the development of main universe Alear, and he does retain his memories and experiences of going through all this. The main problem, though, and I will fully admit this is a problem, is the fact that you have to play through this all again on every individual save file in order to unlock its, in order to unlock the characters and the Enchanter and Mage Cannoneer classes. That's another thing I think Scented Shadows did better, that it made, like, it actually gave its DLC characters the new classes, so you actually got to play around with those classes, like, during the DLC and get a bit of a preview before unlocking them for the main story. I kind of wish, like, for example, you know, Madeline could have been a Mage Cannoneer. And, like, some of the others could have been enchanters. The actual way that the Mage Cannoneer and Enchanter classes, speaking of which, were handled is also a major point of contention that I do plan on going into once I cover the full rewards of the Fel Xenologue. Yeah, those Wyverns fly to the side, and yeah... This is where things become a bit annoying, because they will catch up to you quite easily, and we've got, again, that whole pack of wolves encroaching from the rear. Though, to be honest... Oh, I was about to say, to be honest, with Quick Repulse, Madeline would be great for fighting them. However, I fail to see that working all too well. I mean, I can kind of try, because Quick Repulse, but I'd have to hit the wolves twice, and good luck with that. So we're approaching Fel Timerra, and she is very scary. She is, in my opinion, the toughest of the DLC boss, of the bosses in this individual chapter. Okay, Levin Sword actually doesn't kill you, but this does. That's actually sort of rare. But yeah, I don't have the luxury of avoiding counterattacks here. It's like, you gotta strike a balance between Dark Inferno not obliterating you, and you luring Fel Timerra, because you really do want to deal with her as quickly as you possibly can. Like, an early death for Fel Timerra is always a good thing for you, because she can become a huge problem with her effective flyer movement and running around the water.
Did you see that?
Sometimes I feel bad about holding the A button to speed up the battle animations, but, like, on a map this long, you kind of need to. Okay. Yeah, let's not get hit by halberdiers. See, that is Dark Inferno and a Wyvern. So as much as I would very much like to kill you, although, admittedly, I could do this and then rescue staff. Because, yeah, no reason not to use up every use of your rescue staves in here. It's not like you're going to get to keep them after this is over. Now, Lapis hasn't really done anything yet on this map, and that slightly concerns me. I'm not really sure where should I actually rescue from. I mean, if I rescue Amber from here, I'm pretty much guaranteed that he's not going to get hit by Fel Timerra right now. Also, luring Fel Timerra with doubles might also be a good strategy. Keep you back in case of wolves. And let's use the dance to get Timerra closer. And now he's going to be moving to the center, which I've already cleared out. Also, the center's batch of oh, that's freeze, isn't it? Looks like it. But yeah, also the center's batch of... Oh, you... That would have been fine if she didn't get crit there. I don't really want to burn the engage now, but I almost wonder if, it's worth it to chain guard her.
Emblem, engage!
Well, Bonded Shield, which is really just a superpowered version of chain guard.
Stay back!
And there we go. At least ensures that you'll never have a chance of critting me again. Okay, no extra reinforcements yet. Problem is, I really want that to die, but I also don't want Dark Inferno to completely destroy me. At the same time, though, if Timerra is the only thing that can attack me right now, of course, you've got to remember Dark Inferno also creates a lot of fire terrain, which can make actually getting to and beating Fel Timerra pretty difficult. I mean, that's slightly more likely. And yeah, Soul Blade will kick in even with Levin Swords, which makes Celestia a pretty good user of them. I probably should have had her use that earlier. Sometimes Fel Timerra's AI is also a little bit weird about when exactly she uses Dark Inferno. Also, I have seen Dark Inferno basically one-shot Nell before. Now, I believe Gregory still has the Restore Staff. So I can get rid of that. And yeah, I've changed staff animations to off now. I mean, just in case, maybe. Of course, I also don't want her to spontaneously decide that instead of using Dark Inferno, she'd rather just attack me with a normal weapon and double and kill me. I almost wonder if this is actually worth it. This does leave Madeline, unfortunately, very isolated right now. I'll probably have to rescue staff her later. However, I kind of want to yoink Timerra as well. That might have been a really bad place to yoink her to, though, because that might be in range of Dark Inferno. And that's the second area blown up, which I think... Did that eat 2 of the wolves? No, they just barely got off of it. Yeah, this is the annoying thing about the wolves. They can usually outrun the devastation.
I'm not doing this out of malice. It's just that I have a duty to fulfill as the last queen of Solm.
Everyone in Solm is dead.
Time to play.
Okay, I hope that this doesn't kill anybody. Oh, Sandstorm! That's what must have killed people before. Although I don't think Timerra actually... I don't think Yunaka actually died to that, though. Okay, yeah, those Wyverns are almost upon me. This is why I really just want to... And more Wyverns, yeah! Yeah, it looks like Yunaka barely survived. But yeah, also, the swirly vortexes here, don't worry about them. What I am worried about, though, is I really do need to kill you right now.
I'm the worst.
Oh, boy, and again, those Wyverns are almost on me. I think I'd probably rather go for raw damage over crits, because there's also the possibility that I could miss. I didn't even notice that she had Fel Arcana now, as well as Felspark. I think Felspark does better against you, though. Okay, gonna attempt Felspark here, and then I think I'll get my Timerra in on her so that I can get a chain attack going. Yeah, some people think that it's a little bit weird that she doesn't get, like, victory quotes, since the game does establish she's fully able to talk in dragon form. Okay, you have one of the extra rescue staffs. That might be important to know. Because I only have one use left on that one, and I think I really need to pull some people out of here with the wolves. I'm just thinking, I might be able to engage with Celestia. Although I have a very weird plan here.
I'll go first.
Might not be necessary since Clan can canter. But with you there, Madeline there, I'll be able to goddess dance with Gregory.
Emblem?
I am going to need to rescue staff him though. Actually, before I do that, let's instead, I think I actually will go for a summon here. Okay, that's a silver sword. So I thought that was a great weapon for a second. And so pretty much everything that Diamant is about to summon, they are all sword users. So summoning a blue unit might be useful here.
Come to my...
Okay, the Dud Halberdier. Better than nothing. I think I'll just poise myself to lure in one. And I suppose let's finish you off. Because I believe if he absorbs her, he gets Sandstorm, which you obviously don't want him to have.
I feel it. I feel the desert sun on my face. Finally, Mom. I'm coming home.
Because she says mom there and not mother, some people take that as a sign that maybe she does have a closer personality to her original counterpart. But yeah. Goddess dancing here. In fact, I'm gonna probably need to dance for Ivy. See, first I fortify.
I'm okay.
Or I could trade the rescue staff over to Clan. And I definitely need to pull the legendary Greg. Didn't really want you to go below me, but okay. Nell has the other rescue staff. And you have the other rescue staff, which she gave to Clan. To be honest, I think I'd rather get another Fortify in than do more rescuing. I definitely need to top up after that devastating Dark Inferno. Hello there, you. Yeah, I had a feeling you'd double Amber. Without that warrior build from the main story, Amber's not, like, amazing. Okay, that is quick riposte, but oh look, I only have, well, at least I killed one wolf. That's the first time I've seen Madeline's kill animation, and that really says something. Yeah, an enormous flock of wyverns is incoming. Now, when Fel Nil uses Devastation... Wow, even more enormous flock of wyverns. It actually reaches a little further than you might think. But yeah, so this summon from Fel Nil is a whole bunch of Mage Cannoneers, which is kind of scary at the moment. Especially this one having, like, Mighty Blast. But, they're all basically guaranteed to get eaten when he destroys his platform, so there's really, like, they're not going to bother you for very long. There being a Sage there, though, is a huge problem for me trying to go for, like, a Yunaka dodge tank strategy. Because we have no real time to stall with those enormous flock of wyverns coming at us from behind. In fact, I would kind of like to Great Ether them, though I doubt Great Ether would actually kill them all. See, if you made this build on Panette, and by that I mean the Vantage Wrath build, she's a lot better at it since she can, do the, because she's actually a Berserker in the Xenologue. And while it's not as good as being a warrior, it is still pretty decent. Nell may actually be in some danger if I'm not careful, so I think I probably will have to Bondage Shield Nell. I mean, I guess swap with Ivy. Ivy can fly out of there. I just realized the last time I lured one of you, it ended really badly. How much crit do you have? 10. Okay, she actually has just enough luck to not get crit by that, hopefully. So maybe I can lure and one-round you, though you're much more likely to go for the fabrication. Okay, Amber does have Ike back. I don't think I'll go full Ike just yet, though. Oh, you know what? Maybe I will.
Emblem?
Actually, a Vein of Frost might be useful for me in the long term here. Okay, I just really hope these aren't a problem. You have Silence Ward thanks to Micaiah anyway, so yeah, it should be safe even if that had hit, but yeah.
I'll protect you.
Nice job dual guarding a freaking Cannonball Blast. Is that? Yep, that's also within range. But yeah, like I said, we probably only need to deal with these guys for like one turn because they're all gonna get eaten when Nil uses his thingy. Question is Diamant gonna summon yet? Oh, that's an Axe Hero, so Brave Assist is a thing, right? Thought that was like a warrior or a berserker. Well, probably a berserker. Don't double me, please. Okay, good. I should be safe from... Actually, no, it's a 90% chance. However, I dodged anyway, so we'll never know if that was a 10% fail chance, or if it was a,
I'll protect you.
Just a genuine miss. Well, that was a genuine miss, which somehow turned her around. Should I have used the... Great Ether below? That is so many Wyverns.
Out of my way.
Okay, so the plan right now is to stall in this lower area until I take out all the Wyverns. And because this might take a while, I'm going to be setting animations to your turn only. The main first step is to get somebody onto that forest there so that I can dodge tank, but also for that I will want to kill off as many of the wolves as possible.
Give me a task.
I'm ready.
Because the wolves will get chain attacks, and that's going to slowly wear down whoever's trying to dodge tank in that forest.
Or Brodia! I'm sorry.
The main idea is that Lapis with Roy actually one-rounds a lot of the Wyverns, so I want most of them to attack her. As this part is just me doubling back and killing reinforcements, I thought I'd take this time to do a bit of post-commentary here about something that I wanted to talk about, but I would have been interrupted by my gameplay thoughts if I had tried to talk about this during, well, gameplay. And that is my thoughts on DLC as a whole, and why I've been handling the DLC for Engage the way that I have, doing it after beating the main story and treating it all as post-game. Well, for one, it gives this game a post-game. It gives me more to do after I finish the main story. Also, I do think that the final fight with Fel Nil is an epic finale, and it's good for ending this playthrough on a big epic battle. But it also ties into how I feel about DLC as a whole, but also how I feel about the use of DLC during Let's Plays.
Whatever you need.
And my thoughts here might be a little bit controversial, but just bear with me. I did this in all of the playthroughs that I've done that have had DLC, like Fire Emblem Awakening, Persona 5 Royal, I think technically Persona Q. What I've generally done is, I have avoided using DLC during the main storyline. The reason why I like to do this is I like to prove with my playthroughs that the main game is a complete experience without you needing to buy the DLC. This is something that because oftentimes I see in DLC Discourse, people say that the DLC is like an extra $20 to $40 sometimes on top of the price of the game just to have the full game. people act like, for example, with the release of Persona 5 Tactica, people kind of are acting like the digital deluxe version is like the real game, and the normal price of the game is like the incomplete experience. That's never how I see DLC, unless the game actually carves out content that's either on the disc, or is actually part of the main storyline. Like, I think Asura's Wrath did this. From what I remember, the final battle with the real villain is exclusive to DLC in that game, and I kinda hate that. But most of the games I play don't do it like that. They handle the DLC more like an expansion pack, something that you can buy if you really like the game and want more of it, but that is not essential to enjoying the experience. I feel that the base price of Engage, just the game, no DLC, is still a perfectly good game. Like, you don't lose anything by not buying the DLC. But if you do buy the DLC, you get more of it. And that's what I wanted to show here. Yeah, and this is what I was hoping would happen. Well, not with the wolf there, but you get the idea, because the Wyverns get one round if that happens. And they're tempted to go for Lapis because of the break chance. This leads me into something, and it's another one of these things that might be a little bit of a hot take, but the way that Chugga Conroy, and let me just get this straight, I really like Chugga Conroy, I think he makes really great content, but it always bugged me the way that he handled DLC during his Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Let's Play. Basically, he not only did DLC quests during the main storyline, he also picked up the DLC Blades, Crossette, and Corvin, and just casually acted like they were always part of the game, and that everybody would have access to them.
That was a fierce battle.
Crossette and Corvin are not only DLC, paid DLC exclusive blades, they are also disgustingly overpowered. And I know that not a lot of people like that, and the fact that Chugga just acted as if everybody playing Xenoblade 2 would be willing to shill out for the DLC just to have them. I think I'll give you Special Dance just to make sure you one round the Wyverns that come in. That just bothered me, and it also meant that if people wanted to play along with him, they would have to buy the DLC as well as the base game. It's often why I don't like people using event Pokemon in Pokemon playthroughs as well, because not everybody has access to them, and therefore people won't really be able to accurately play along. So that's what I decided not to do for this game. If I had used the DLC bracelets during the main storyline, it would have felt like that. It would have been like, hey look, here's Emblem Edelgard. You'll definitely have her if you own Engage, because everyone's going to want the DLC, right? And she's pretty overpowered, too, and it also ruins the Chapter 11 twist. But yeah, those are my 2 cents on the issue, and now hopefully back to live commentary me. Okay, Neil's going to be warping there next turn, which means I'm pretty sure most of these Cannoneers are going to die. In fact, this is actually something that brings me back to a conversation that I had in the comments a long time back in Chapter 9, is that, like, what some people have said in the comments section is that the argument they have, like, against the whole rewind thing, is not that, like, rewinding encourages people to, like, not get good, I guess, but more that people were worried about maps being designed with time rewinding in mind. Like, maps designed with gotcha traps, and so the designers are like, they think they can get away with gotcha traps because it's like, oh yeah, players can just rewind if they get caught up by one of those. But I think the actual really good map design of Engage basically can, it pretty much proved to people that no, that's not how they were going to do it. Even if there's a rewind mechanic, they're not going to design maps with the implication that rewinding is necessary. Okay, well, one break happened. But okay, at least there's only 2 left. And that missed, that's another added boom. Well, I missed 2, but okay. And he's summoning now.
It's time to honor your contract.
So now I kind of have to pivot my attention to the upper front here. But I may be able to stall some of the summons with Clan. Yep, even more Wyverns. First step is I need to attend to this lower front. My final Fel Xenologue relevant topic for today is going to be Corrupted and some interesting lore implications for them in the game's code. Now, I forget exactly where I saw this, I think it was in a data mine, but apparently, internally, Corrupted are called Morphs. The same name as the type of enemies that were in Fire Emblem Blazing Sword, Lyn and Hector's game. This is interesting because Morphs are actually very similar to Corrupted in a lot of ways. There are generic mass-produced ones, which make up most of the faceless enemies you fight, while more powerful sorcerers can create morphs that have more human-like appearances and personalities. And several of those superior morphs that we see in FE7 were based on people who died. But what's especially interesting is that in the lore of Fire Emblem Blazing Sword, the one person who creates morphs learned that art in a village of dragons. And in the world of Fire Emblem Engage, creating Corrupted, or the divine counterpart Fabrications, is explicitly a power dragons have. Now, in the game proper, Corrupted are not referred to by the same term as morphs in Japanese, so I don't know if this was a connection that was planned at one point but dropped, or if it's just a weird quirk of the internal names. I mean, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance had some pretty weird internal names. But it leaves a lot of room for headcanons. I personally believe that the art of creating morphs is related to the Corrupted and Fabrications in at least some way. And so that's that middle area gone, which means all the cannoneers are dead. And so, with Fel Nil moving to Corrupted Timerra's quadrant of the map, I think it's time to call this part. I'll see you next time for the epic conclusion of the fight against Nil, and the ending of the Fel Xenologue.